today's 5-Minute Gardener, how to choose a plant in the nursery. Customers are always asking which is the best one, and Debbie Mounce gives us ways to choose that healthy plant.
All right, you guys, it's spring. You're going to the nursery. You got stuff to buy. How do you pick a plant? That's one of the most often asked questions that we get in the nursery. There's so many choices. I'm just standing between two different types of tombstone rose. So which one do you take home with you? I'm going to help you a little bit with that. Now, the first thing you want to do is when you look at the plant and you're trying to choose one, try to find a plant that looks full in its container. You don't want anything that's puny or spindly. You want one that fills up the pot that seems to be appropriate for the size of the container that it's in. This is a little Calolophus. This lantana is great size for this pot. I have a little plumbago here. These guys are great. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the roots are good. That's the most important part of that pot. If you are buying a tree, the first thing you want to look at, I don't have a sample to show you, but the first thing you want to look at is that the roots are not girdling. So what that means is the tree trunk comes down, and if you see roots on the surface of the soil that are starting to grow around like this, that's called girdling. Do not buy that tree. The second things about roots is you want to make sure that whatever plant you picked is well rooted. Now, this guy, you may or may not feel comfortable doing this, but I'm okay with this. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to say, look at that. That's got a nice, healthy, strong root system. So you know that this guy's ready to be planted and he's going to take off in your garden. Then the next thing I look for after that, after I've checked the roots and I'm looking at the plant, is I look for any new growth. Like on this little plant I just showed you, there's a bunch of new soft green leaves. There's some new growth on this plumbago. These guys are looking really good. Make sure that whatever you choose is showing signs of new growth. That's really, really important. And then probably the most important thing, people will say, well, all of them have new growth on them, Debbie, or all of them look like the roots are doing really well. And then I'll say, okay, now you just have to look and find the one that calls your name, the one that is the most symmetrical, or you just flat out like the look of. I generally go for the things that are more symmetrical and more balanced, meaning they're not lopsided or crooked or whatever. Go for the ones that are more balanced. And just pick the one that calls your name. If they're waving their hand, take it home with you. Then the final thing is just trust your instincts. If you look at the plant and you say, this is not looking right, you're probably right. Just trust your own instincts. All right, you guys, good luck. I'm Debbie Mounce, and I'm your 5-Minute Gardener.